Isang mabiyayang hapon po sa ating lahat. Palakpakan po natin ang ating mga graduates. I think I first visited the Bicol region I think that was the last time that I visited the Bicol region in 2015. Tagal na po yun, no? And I'm so happy that President Nebres uh, invited me to be part of this very memorable event, the graduation of our students here in the campus of Tabaco of the Bicol University. And I am so honored and privileged to stand before you today as your commencement speaker to celebrate not only your academic achievements, but also the story behind them, the perseverance, sacrifices, growth, and resilience that brought you to this very moment. Only this morning, we had our 153rd Board of Regents meeting. And we just accepted the representation of the student sector. And I requested her to submit or to sponsor a proposal to increase the incentive for top-notchers. Because the last time that you approve, I think the increase of the incentive that was in 20, matagal na yun, di ba? 2004 or what? Matagal na yata eh. And yesterday, when we had the board meeting with Sorsogon State University, they're giving around 50,000 as an incentive for top-notchers. Eh sabi ko, President, baka naman pwede mong taasan din yung incentive. So, I hope that before the graduates will take their board exams, maipasa na natin yung bagong proposal. President, pangako mo yan kanina. Ang problema niya kasi ang daming pumapas, ang daming mga top-notchers. Baka maubos daw yung budget ng university. We just approved the commendation this morning, commending around 41 top-notchers in the entire university. Ganun po kagaling ang mga estudyante, ang mga mag-aaral ng Bicol University, and I salute you for that. Bicol University is a level 4 university, one of the best, not only in the region but in the entire country. Palakpakan po natin ang Bicol University. So today we celebrate not merely the acquisition of diplomas, but everything it took for you to earn them. We celebrate the late nights, or perhaps sleepless nights, spent studying, meeting deadlines, and trying to survive college one requirement at a time. We celebrate those among you who may have had to balance work and studies, who gave 100% despite exhaustion, or who carried responsibilities beyond the four corners of the classroom. Whatever your story may be, know this. I acknowledge your persistence. I acknowledge your sacrifices. And I celebrate the strength it took for you to keep showing up until you made it here. We also celebrate what may perhaps be one of the greatest mysteries of student life, the countless group works that somehow turned into individual tasks. And while that may sound humorous today, perhaps those moments taught you lessons no textbook could ever fully teach: leadership, accountability, resilience, and the courage to stand for fairness and justice. Because life will test your patience. People will challenge your values. Situations will tempt will tempt you to compromise your principles. But may you always remember this: stand your ground. And most of all, today we celebrate you for choosing to move forward despite doubts, despite fears, despite setbacks and uncertainties. My dear graduates, this day belongs to you. As the saying goes, malayo na, pero malayo pa. Allow me to offer a different way of understanding this. Imagine it is 7 o'clock in the morning. For many of us, 7 o'clock in the morning feels early. The day is only beginning. In many ways, graduates, this moment is your 7 o'clock a.m. Life is only beginning for you. You may not have everything figured out yet, and that is perfectly okay. Some of you may already know your destination. Others may still be uncertain about what comes next. Some of you may feel excited, while others may feel anxious about stepping into the unknown. But hear me when I say this: you're not behind, you are simply beginning. And if life causes you to feel lost at times, allow yourself the grace to pause, recalibrate, and find another route forward. Because getting lost does not mean you have failed. Sometimes it simply means you are still discovering where you are meant to be. Today, we stand at the intersection between education and the real world. Education has been your foundation, the place where you develop knowledge, values, discipline, and wisdom. But now, the world awaits the application of what you have learned. This diploma is not the final destination. It is only the beginning. As you step into this new chapter, allow me to reflect on today's theme: Class of 2026, Values-Driven Workforce, Digitally Inclined Lifelong Learners. You belong to a generation shaped with rapid technological advancement, a generation where innovation, digital transformation, and artificial intelligence continue to redefine industries and professions. You are graduates entering a world that values adaptability as much as enterprise. But amid all these changes, may I remind you of something important. Technology may help us move faster, but values determine the direction in which you go. To become a values driven workforce means allowing integrity, compassion, accountability, and service to guide your actions. Your competence may open doors, but your character will determine how long you remain inside the rooms or those rooms. Honesty may take you far, but integrity will take you where you are meant to be. And as a digitally inclined, lifelong learners, I hope you never stop learning. Learning does not end with graduation. Keep asking questions. Keep growing. Keep adapting. Learn new technologies. Develop new skills and embrace change with courage. But while you become digitally competent as citizens of the world, I hope you never lose sight of your humanity. Move with grace, lead with grace, serve with grace, teach with grace. There is already too much negativity in the world. I hope you become the quiet in the middle of the noise, the light at the end of a dark tunnel, a breath of fresh air in spaces clouded by hopelessness. My dear graduates, you are one with this nation. This country helped shape the person you are becoming. You have been prepared to become globally competitive professionals, capable of thriving anywhere in the world. Yet, even as opportunities lead you beyond borders, I hope you continue to carry in your heart the desire to serve the motherland with honor, with integrity, and with compassion. Wherever life may bring you, may your talents, knowledge, and wisdom contribute to the betterment of our beloved country. Life outside these university walls may feel intimidating, but it is not something to fear. The years you spent in Bicol University were not accidental preparation. They were trainings for this very moment. The moment you must step forward. The moment you must trust yourself. The moment you begin building the life you envision. And before I end, allow me to leave you with this reminder. There will be failures. There will be heartbreaks. You will definitely experience rejection. You will commit mistakes. But failure is not the opposite of success. Often, it is part of it. The world may be harsh at times, but I hope you learn to be kinder to yourselves. Accept defeat with the same grace that you accept victories. Allow yourself to grow through disappointments and never let temporary setbacks define permanent conclusions about who you are capable of becoming. The world is waiting for you. Some may celebrate your failures, but the right people, those who genuinely care for you, will celebrate your growth, your courage, and the wisdom you gain through every experience. I was then a student like you. I finished college. But before that, I experienced a lot of hardships. Nung una, hindi ko alam kung saan ako patungo. Siguro ilan sa inyo ay kagaya ko. My father died when I was still a young boy. I think I was in grade six at the time when my father passed away. And I thought I could not pursue my education because my mother, for me, has no means of providing the education that we want. Baka hindi po ninyo alam, nung kabataan ko, nagigising kami 4 o'clock in the morning. Kukunin yung kalabaw, dadalhin sa farm ng maaga para to prepare for plowing the field. And we start working in the farm at around 6 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock kasi mainit na. We do that every day. I finished high school. I do not know if I can pursue my education in college. Sabi ko sa sarili ko, kahit na anong kurso, basta makatapos ng college. So, I was able to enter college. I finished my college degree. And then after that, saan kaya ako patungo after graduation? But luckily, I was able to get employed just after graduation. After, of course, passing the national licensure examination. Akala ko doon magkatrabaho lang. Hindi ko pinangarap maging isang presidente ng Isabela State University. Malayo po sa aking isip na maging bahagi ng isang napakalaking universidad sa Pilipinas katulad ng Bicol University. And before that, when I asked to handle some students, lagi kong kinukwento sa kanila ang aking buhay. Sabi ko, hanggang 11 o'clock and even up to 12 o'clock, nandun kami sa farm. Ang sabi ng aking mga estudyante, Sir, sa kulay ninyo parang hindi naman kayo nagtrabaho sa farm. Sabi ko sa kanila, alam nyo kasi nung meron akong trabaho, meron akong pera. Dahil meron akong pera, nakakabili na rin ako ng pampaputi. And then, I never stopped dreaming. As soon as I finished my PhD, I went to law school. But when I was in college, my dream actually is to become a soldier. Kasi magmula nung bata ako, ano na ako, Boy Scout. High school, ako yung corps commander ng Citizens Army Training, pero wala na yun ngayon, ano? And then in college, I joined the Citizens Military Training as an officer, as an advanced officer. So, ang direction ko noon is to become a soldier. Pero siguro sabi ng Panginoon, huwag kang pumasok sa pagiging sundalo. Dahil pag pumasok ka dyan, baka mamatay ka, no? So, hindi ko po itinuloy yung aking ambisyon. So, I got a teaching job in our province. And then, I took my PhD. I finished it. Then after that, I also enrolled in the College of Law. I finished my law degree. And I am so confident that if I will take the bar, I will pass the bar. I know pretty well that I know the law. But God did not allow me to become a lawyer. Ginawa niyang pangit ang sulat ko para hindi mabasa. Pero sabi nila, anyway, computerized na daw ngayon, so I can now take the bar exam. Sabi ko, wag na. Kasi wala na akong rason kung hindi ako papasa. So hindi po ako naging abogado. But I finished the degree. Here comes now the opportunity. I was designated as head of the campus. And later, designated as the vice president of the university. And at the age of 46, I was asked to apply as president of Isabela State University. Yung mga applicants, mga veterano na sa university, actually wala rin akong balak mag-apply as president. Aksidente lang talaga na nag-apply ako. Kasi somebody told me, mag-apply ka. Sabi ko, not this time. But many convinced me to apply as president. So I only have 1 week to prepare before the deadline for the submission of application. And luckily, I was elected as president of the university at the age of 46. Yun pala yung plano ng Panginoon sa akin na hindi ko alam. Kasi hindi pumasok sa aking isipan na maging presidente ako. Gusto ko lang magkaroon ng trabaho. Pero gusto ko maging sundalo. At gusto ko rin maging abogado. Hindi ibinigay ng Panginoon. Pero, when I became president, the Armed Forces of the Philippines invited me to join the reserve force. And I submitted my application. Then, after 1 year, the Philippine Army gave me the rank of Lieutenant Colonel. So sabi ko, sundalo na rin pala ako. Ito yung gusto ko noon. Pero ang Panginoon, napaka talino. Siya ang nakakaalam kung saan tayo patungo. Kasi sabi niya, kung magsundalo ka, hindi ka maging presidente, baka mamatay ka. Pero ginawa pa rin niya akong sundalo. And then, later, after my election as president, naturally, I have to be assigned as the vice chair of the Board of Regents. And as a vice chair, the board is considered, it is a collegial body. And sometimes the board has to decide cases. And the board has to be constituted as a quasi-judicial body. Sabi ko, hindi nga ako naging abogado, pero naging judge naman ako. Di po ba? I consider myself as a judge. When I sit as a member of the board, when I sit as a member of the Commission on Bank, of the Commission on Higher Education, when deciding cases brought before us. So therefore, when the Board of Regents, when the Commission and Bank were convened as a quasi-judicial body to decide cases, I consider myself and the rest of the members as judges. Tama po ba? And therefore, God allowed me to use my knowledge of the law. Tama po ba? Hindi nga ako naging sundalo as a regular member of the armed forces, ginawa akong reservist. Hindi ako naging abogado, ginawa naman ako ni Lord na judge. And I believe many of you here also experience the kind of experience that I had in my college days. Huwag kayong mawalan ng pag-asa. Magtiwala lang kayo sa Panginoon. Magtiwala kayo sa inyong kakayahan. Pag may trabaho na kayo, kung hindi maganda ang complexion ninyo, pwede nang bumili ng pangpaputi. Tama po ba? Hindi sila maniwala mga estudyante. Sir, imposible na nagtrabaho ka sa farm. Totoo po yun, sabi ko sa aking mga estudyante. Kasi daw, hindi ka panipaniwala dahil yung aking skin daw ay hindi naman, parang hindi naman daw ako nagtrabaho sa bukid. Sabi ko, may pambili na kasi ako ng pampaputi. So with that, my dear graduates, go forward with courage. Carry your values proudly. Learn continuously. Lead responsibly. serve meaningfully, and wherever life takes you, may you remain values-driven, digitally inclined, lifelong learners, committed not only to personal success, but to making a difference in the lives of others. Congratulations, class of 2026. The future awaits you, and I believe it is in good hands. Maraming salamat po.